Welcome back to another video, guys, and as promised in the last one, I was going to do some kind of breakdown over the past week trades and just run through them all and show myself where I could have worked, things I could have improved on. Now, a couple years ago I took a course called Infinite Prosperity, and it teaches something called ASR, which stands for Advanced Self-Review. Now basically what this is, it's like at the end of every day or the end of every week or the end of every month, depending on how frequent you wanted to do it, you go through all the trades that you've taken or all the trades that you didn't take, and you kind of just do like a calculation to see how much the percentage that you have lost by not taking trades, or the potential the protect what you've lost from taking the trades that you shouldn't be taking, or what you've lost from not managing correctly, just to like kind of get down to the nitty-gritty of the things that are causing you to not perform at your optimal level. And it's called ASR, Advanced Self-Review. So it's something that I've done once in the past 8 years since I've learned it, because it was so complex and complicated. Now I just wanted to simplify it into in my terms of what I'm doing now, something similar to Advanced Self-Review. That's what I'm going to call it, ASR. But it's just basically me going over the chart, putting in all the trades that I have lost on. So the red ones are buy, the reds are buys, the greens are sells. I didn't put stops in. I was going to put stops in the black line, but you should be able to tell where stops would have been hit based on the direction the market went in. So yeah, I'm going to outline all the trades on the chart as I am currently doing, and once I have done that, then I'll go through them step by step and look for reasons why I shouldn't have got in. And yeah, so hopefully next week, the weeks ahead, I don't repeat the same mistakes over and over, because obviously all these trades that I'm highlighting right now are trades I've lost, and I don't want to be losing as many. I think altogether I lost 14 and 111, 40% win rate. So if I can reduce that number, then obviously overall it's going to play a massive role. And obviously some of these trades with FOMO was just like stacking. So yeah, let's jump on the chart and go through all of them individually. Obviously you can see the group ones are like multiple orders together, but yeah, let's get through them and yeah, let's just quickly go over all these trades that I've taken and quickly just express the things that I've realized that now, looking back in hindsight, that could have been avoided. And even things that I didn't mention while placing these trades that I wasn't 100% on, but I took them anyways. So starting with up here, I went on buys around here after being short from up here, but as I said, I didn't put the profits on. I only put the trades I've lost, so I can identify where I went wrong and how to avoid doing them going forward. So anyways, down here, after coming up from some sells, I went straight into some buys. You can see where the lines are the level that the price that I got in on 2 orders or 2 buys. So let's just put that there roughly, and I'm not sure where targets would have been, but let's just say stops would have been around there. And yeah, something like that the trade looked like at the time. And now obviously looking back in hindsight, things that could have been avoided on this particular trade. Let's drop onto the 5 minute, and so we can get a bit more detail on this chart. So even down on the 5 minute, things that could have been paid attention to before jumping into this to avoid taking a loss is this level right here. We're waiting for the market to do something along the lines of breaking, delete that, waiting for the market to do something along the lines of breaking above there, retesting, starting to make higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, correct, and breaking structure to go to the upside. That would have been a bit more of a solid entry. However, even on the 5 minute, I didn't see that, and even on the higher time, for instance the 15, we can see that the market rejected the 15 EMA and just continued to trend lower. So obviously going forward is to not trade against the moving averages and pay attention to what's happening about if price is breaking and making higher lows, or if it's continuous, or if it's not breaking, maintaining lower highs, and forming lower highs, maintaining lows and forming lower highs. Yeah, maintaining highs and forming lower highs. this lower highs and high, they get so complex at times. You have to really find the right terminology, but yeah, you get what I mean. So yeah, that's it for there. We got into a couple of orders. We probably got out somewhere there. That this is what I should have been looking for before getting in, and I probably got in somewhere like, you know, there, or get off the chart somewhere, you know, like here or right here, for example, and you know, that would have been a lot better trade to targets. But however, I didn't do that, and going forward, wait for the market to break above previous structure highs, whether that be lower highs, correct, so wait for lower highs to break and start to form higher lows. That's it right there. So, and again, not to trade against the moving average, because you can see the moving average is basically going down and I'm trying to catch buys. So yeah, that's that for there. Let's take these ones off. So those are the buys I took. That's out of the way. Now let's move on to this position right here. Now I got into sells around this period, this range right here. Now this one particularly, I wouldn't say is really bad. Maybe I got in too early, or my stops were a bit too tight. But yeah, you can see the direction wasn't incorrect, but it was just probably the stops were too tight. So that's another, the stops were probably too tight, or I didn't actually wait for, let's see the fib levels that we got from this move actually. So let's draw from this recent break to so we're waiting for 32 retracements. So at 32 retracements, that's where the line stops. If we don't get 32 and it stops at 23.6, then we continue moving it down. So you can see at the first one right here, we didn't get a 32, we got a 26, so we move it down to the next one, and right here we got a 32, and actually going all the way up to a 618. So now if I'd actually waited for at least even a 32 and put stops over the 618, or that, well, I wouldn't have gone to 32 because there's no actual reason to get in. But as you can see, as we hit the 618, the market starts to, you know, form a bit of like rejection or indecision candles, push down, and then right here the retest from that level, loads of wicks, and that would have been a much better entry. So obviously going forward, as I said, it's not necessarily a bad trade. It was either just getting in too early or not waiting for confirmation and setting stops too tight, because if I got in around here, obviously we got stopped out somewhere along here. So let's actually put a position 2 on here. So I got in somewhere here. Target ones would have been the negative 618. So eventually we'll hit targets somewhere down here. But yeah, I don't know how tight stops were, but you can see, yeah, we got stopped out based on something along there. Even if we just went to the previous lows, nah, that was too, I would not have taken a trade like that. I'd have been mainly aiming for, oh no, that's target 2s actually. Targets 1s here, the 27, 618 target 2s. So yeah, even if it's, that was still been, yeah, I'd have probably been aiming for a 2.1 or a 2 to 1 or a 3 to 1. So yeah, that gives you a rough idea of where my stops would have been. Whereas if I'd have waited for the 618, at least if I saw the 618, like if I'd have got in at the 618 because of just confidence, then, and put stops like literally, you know, above and then go for the target ones, that would have been like an 8%. But chances are that wouldn't happen. Probably say get in around there, that would have probably been a more ideal, not even that, let's say we got in here at the 32, a bit more ideal entry, but we got in, you know, after that initial spike, stops were above there, that's still a 2 to 1 or 2.3 to 1 risk to reward. So yeah, that's that. Anyways, now that's off the chart, so now we know what we could have done there. Let's move forward. That was sales, bam. Now we are on some, it's got a higher time frame. Now over here we're on some buys. Let's make these smaller. So over here we are on some buys. I actually remember this position specifically, so I'm going to drop down to the 5 minute. So now that we're down on a lower time frame, I actually remember this trade specifically because I remember like seeing the market break above here, and I actually then wanted to wait for something like a retest here and start to get in here. So this is all of these trades here. Let's bring them over slightly. They're all around that region, based on obviously the market breaking that level here after some of a double bottom, and then coming up. I was expecting market not to break below that level, and after obviously after seeing this massive engulfing above the EMA as well, I started to go long and I started to put some orders in, and you can see we just went straight through it. So yeah, that's that. So it would have looked something along the lines of, obviously there were longs, so they're starting from there. Stops were probably just below, you know, let's say even stops were below there. It probably wasn't, but let's say stop was below there, and we're aiming for a 2-to-1. So yeah, that's what that would have looked like, and that's what happened in that instant. So yeah, let's get this off the chart. As I said, I think what could have been different with this trade is, again, waiting for something similar to the one at the top, waiting for that level to be broken, because as you can see we are in a downtrend, and that was the most recent lower high, so waiting for that to break, which didn't happen. But if this had happened in an uptrend, I'd definitely 100% go for it again. But because it happened in a downtrend, yeah, the market continued to go down. You can even see the massive variation right there. That literally just screamed, get in, get in, get in, bam, bam, and then literally just tanked afterwards. But anyways, that's the nature of the beast. So let's take that one off and move forward to these ones. So now these were sells. These were sells that got me flipping. Yeah, so these were sells that I got wrecked on. Now again, I remember this one specifically because it looked something along the lines of this. After seeing the market push down, then coming back up, and then actually forming that red candle you can see right there on that 5-minute EMA, that kind of rejection thing, I was like, okay, yeah, we're going down. And yeah, we actually spiked all the way up before starting to go down. I did actually make profit from this move in the end, but the initial move, like first stop hunt or spike out, took me right out. And that would have not been my stop loss. Like I wouldn't have had my stop loss all the way up there, even though that's not too bad of a stop loss actually. How far is that? If I'd have got in there, roughly, that's only like a 44 pip stop. Yeah, that's too high. But depending on the time frame I'm trading, like that probably would have like been an okay stop, but it wasn't at this period in time. I think it was somewhere probably just above there, just above the previous like swing highs. So yeah, that took me out. That's what that trade looked like. Obviously there was a few orders in there, but it's all roughly around that period, that area, and yeah, that's what that looked like. So let's get those ones off the chart for sales, and hopefully finding this somewhat useful. I definitely am, because I'm going to look back at this at some point and reflect. Actually, I did get into a sell from up here actually, so go back and watch the previous videos. You saw the trades I did win, but I'm not going over the winners, I'm going over the losers. So now in here we went for sells. Okay, and now I remember why as well. So obviously the market's been in a downtrend. It's been in this sideways consolidation range, coming up a little bit, and when it was around here I was waiting for it to get up to 24, which is 24 would have been this region right here. Let's just mark that quickly. So 24 would have been around here. I was waiting for it to get to 24 to actually start selling. However, after seeing that and this right here, I decided to start to go short, and the market started to tank, and I was absolutely loving it because I was in so much profit at this period in time. Then I started to get in more positions, because I just thought it was going to just take everything out and just start falling. But yeah, as you can see, that did not happen. My first position was all the way up here, and that was like literally, that's such a beautiful entry. It's such a beautiful entry, all given. If I just took profit at previous lows, bam, that I could at least got a 2-to-1 base, depending on where my stops are. I could at least got a 2-to-1 and be happy with that. But I started to be greedy, expecting the market to continue falling, and that didn't happen. So that's something else to pay attention to. Obviously, just take the market for what it's worth, especially after, pay attention if it's in consolidation or not, because that a 2-to-1 would have been a great trade. That, I mean, it could have probably even been a 3-to-1. Like 3-to-1, my stops were still cleared. You know what I mean? So that could have been a great trade, and obviously made banking a lot more profit. And obviously I started to then add positions to it, add positions to it as I saw it falling, and then we just lost everything out. And I think I probably closed these ones early because I realized that the market was just pulling back. But even then, or did I get stopped out somewhere around here? I think maybe I didn't close positions and then I got stopped out somewhere up here. I'm not 100% sure because I'm not sure where my I mean, I could have put stops. Let me see where my stops are actually, just for this one here. Let's see where my stops were roughly. Let's see if I see anything at 22. Yeah, 22.18. My stops were at 23.02. 23.02. Let's just draw that on the chart quickly. 23. Let's put that in black. Coordinates 23.02. 23.02. Bam. I said black. Bam. So that's actually where my stops were. So yeah, I got stopped out right there. So you can see if that didn't happen, that would have been like a 5 to 1, like almost a 6, a 5 to 1 if I just like took profits properly. But yeah, that's what happened. So that's where my stops were. You can see that's pretty tight. That's a good stop actually. But yeah, I like looking back at this. It's just so irritating, the things that I let get to me sometimes, just like not taking profit. So again, going back to the advanced self review, another instance is take profit when it's given to you. 2 to 1 is a brilliant amount. So I should have been taking a 2 to 1 and not wanting to get like that 5 or 10 to 1 or whatever it was. That wasn't even a 2 to 1. Like based in on market just getting back down to previous lows. If I was actually on the chart and monitoring, that's like a 5.6. That's a massive trade, depending on how much I've risked as well. So wow, yeah, I think this is the one that probably hurts me the most, because I mean they all hurt me a bit, but yeah, that's that. Let's see where we are now. Is that it? Yeah, so that is all the trades that I have lost. That's all the trades I've lost over the past week. If you want to see all the profits that I've made, obviously go back and check out all the videos, and we're gonna start analyzing this market to see where we potentially can end up in the coming days. Hopefully you guys took something from this video. It's probably long, but I'm sure it's informative and somewhat helpful. I mean, everyone likes seeing wins, but obviously you learn a lot from your losses as well. So yeah, I've definitely learned a few things that I've taken notes from obviously sharing this with you guys as well. So hopefully you guys took something from it. I'm gonna go ahead and rewatch this and write things down, and yeah, make the best of it going into next week so I don't make the same mistakes again. To summarize, trading with the trend, waiting for confirmation, and taking profits. I think those are the 3 things to actually summarize from this video: going with the trend, waiting for confirmation, and taking profits, which is like 3 different things. That's 3 unique things actually. That's good. That I learned 3 things from doing this. So I hope you guys, those are the 3 things I've actually pinpointed on and taken away from this ASR session. So yeah, this is a long one, still talking. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, comment. See you in the next one. Bye.